Mind Over Matter, where we feature young Jamaicans who are shooting for the stars. I'm your host, Margaret Boyne. Passing 10 subjects in the CSEC exams and 5 subjects at CAPE Unit 1, all with grade 1s and during a pandemic, is no easy feat. My guest is only 18 years old. She's a sixth form student and deputy head girl at the Immaculate Conception High School. She's also the recipient of a scholarship to Harvard University, one of the most prestigious universities in the world. She shares her academic journey from Dunrobin Primary to Harvard. My guest is Zaria Ferguson.
Congratulations, Zaria.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Yes, man. You have gained a scholarship to Harvard University in a year where the acceptance rate is the lowest ever at 3.19%. And of course, Harvard is one of the most prestigious universities in the world. Now, tell me, how did you feel when you got that news?
Well, opening the letter, before I even opened the admission letter, I was not expecting anything. And even before I opened Harvard's admission letter, I actually opened admission letter for other schools and didn't get accepted to those two. So then I didn't expect much from Harvard because I mean, it's Harvard. But when I opened it and I saw, there's Zaria, congratulations, I was like, what? I was so shocked. I was over the moon, honestly. And then to see that I got a full ride scholarship, it just made everything complete for me. So yeah.
And not only that, you'll be among some of the brightest minds in the whole world.
Yes.
And not to mention that Barack Obama went to Harvard, you know.
A lot of famous alumni.
Yes. Well. So, I mean, that's just amazing. So you're also coming from a modest family too.
Yeah.
Did you always want to go to an Ivy League school?
No, not necessarily. I just knew that I wanted to study abroad.
Okay.
I was open to anything.
All right. So, what was your essay about that led to your acceptance?
That's a very good question. So for Harvard, I remember doing around 4 essays. One of them, I spoke about different extracurricular activities that I did that I didn't mention prior on the application. Mm-hmm. So I mentioned, like, I did a lot of events planning this year at my school as deputy head girl. You know, I have to plan a lot of school events. So I mentioned that. I also spoke about this electronics project that I did in a science and engineering program called SPICE. And I also talk about my ability to do video editing. So during the pandemic, you know, being online, you had to make lots of videos. So yes, I worked up all my skills in that as well. So that was one essay. My next essay, they asked about what I would plan to do with my education at Harvard. So my hope is to pursue biomedical engineering. And then I spoke about how I would want to use the resources at Harvard to get more into the field and also be able to bring more research opportunities to the Caribbean and to Jamaica as a whole. And then for my third essay, they asked me to briefly describe one of my extracurricular activities. So the electronics project that I spoke about earlier went more in depth with it for that essay.
Okay.
And then for the fourth essay, the final one, they gave us various options to choose from. So I chose the essay prompt that talk about writing a letter to your roommate. So that's the essay that I did for my fourth one.
Okay, I didn't know it was so many essays, you know.
Yes, it's a lot of essays applying to abroad.
So biomedical engineering, I wanted to tell, you know, my viewers, what is that? What is that field? What does a biomedical engineer do?
Okay, so as the name suggests, it does involve the medical field. So biomedical engineers, they're involved in creating different devices or technologies that persons use in the medical field, like the doctor's offices, hospitals, and all of that. So that's basically what I would want to go into, because medicine intrigues me, but I don't think I would want to be a doctor really. But engineering is cool to me, and I like the whole building of it aspect and also research. So that's really what biomedical engineering is in a sense.
So what sparked your interest in this, you think?
I think I would say, as I said, I had an interest in medicine before, but I wasn't exactly sure what I'd want to do with it. But then the SPICE program that I mentioned, they had professionals coming in from different STEM fields doing presentations on their different occupations and stuff. And there were a few biomedical engineers that came in, and their presentations are actually very intriguing to me. Like what they did seemed fascinating to me, and it seemed like something that I would want to do. So I would say that's when I made a decision to go for this major.
Okay. All right. So Zaria, our culture feed into this negative stereotype that boy, females can do STEM, How are you able then to decide to, boy, this is what you wanted to do and pursue that no matter what?
Well, personally for me, despite what society says, I believe I can do anything I put my mind to. So whether or not it's male dominated, I know it's something that I can do, as well as I go to an all-girls school. So I see women every day, and I see powerful women every day doing their thing. And I don't know, I don't feel that much intimidated, it being a male-dominated field. I still believe I can do what I was set out to do.
So as you mentioned, there's a gender gap. How do you think we can get more, female students to be interested in like a STEM education?
Well, I would believe that we could have more female professionals that are in STEM going into schools, doing different presentations, because it just might be the case that many persons don't know that it's possible, but when they see a female coming in doing a presentation on all these fancy engineering stuff that she does, then more people realize that, hey, I could do this. More little girls will see and say, oh, I can build this. I can wear a hard hat, stuff like that, as well as on social media as well, because I use TikTok a lot, and sometimes
you're young, yes.
Yes. And sometimes I will see female engineers just popping up on my feed, and they as well help to motivate persons through their platforms that little girls can do all these things that they say we cannot,
You presently attend Immaculate, where you're the deputy head girl. So tell me about the school and some of the awards that you have received so far.
That's a long list.
Yes, I know, but give me a shortened version.
Okay, so I received the awards, of course, for my CSEC and the CAPE examinations. I received all ones in all the subjects that I did, as well as throughout the years, I've received numerous subject awards. So I've placed first, second, and third in subjects such as biology, chemistry, English language and literature, history, French as well. I've always placed first in French, as well as additional mathematics and etc. etc. And I've also been on the honor roll at Immaculate since I started. So from grade 7 all the way up to now, I have been on the honor roll.
Okay. You mentioned the SPICE program.
Yes, I did.
You chalked up several awards in that program. To tell us about that.
That was actually a little surprising to me, but the SPICE program, it was a very enlightening experience for me. So we did a lot of university level courses. We did biochemistry, we did calculus. I was in the calculus 1 class. We did physics. I was in physics 1. We did computer programming, where we got introduced to Python. We did electronics, and we did entrepreneurship. And I learned a lot of new stuff through the program, as well as being able to socialize with other students from the Caribbean. And then in the end, as I said, the awards that I received. So in entrepreneurship, I was the team leader for my team's group project. And for our final project in entrepreneurship, we had to create a business and then execute a whole business pitch in front of investors. And then investors would choose which team. Yes, I had the best project. They chose my team. Okay. So my team won that. So we were the competition winners for that. And then in physics, I received the most improved award. in calculus 1, I was a top performer for that one actually. And then in computer programming, for a final project, we worked in teams to create these 2D games, and my team got the teamwork award based on the work that we did. And as well as overall, I was the top female for Spice 2021. Yeah.
Boy, you're also a part of several clubs. You do a lot of volunteer work. How do you balance everything?
Well, personally for me, I do what I love. So I enjoy what I do. I find it fun and enough. So I like being everything. I like being everything and everything. I'm always up and down, always all around. So yeah.
Okay. So during a pandemic, right? You gained several grade ones. How did you accomplish this?
Well, the pandemic really was a surprise. I know it hit everyone very unexpectedly. I would say when it just came, I was in grade 11, so I'll be preparing for my CSEC examinations. Well, one thing I told myself first, it was to not worry. So just remove all worries and all anxieties from now, because that's not gonna help. As well as just start preparing. Just start doing whatever you can. I mean, some of my classes, they abruptly stopped because of the pandemic as well. But I would usually meet with my friends sometimes, and we would study, hop on Zoom calls, have these different study sessions where we just work together. And at the end of the day, I was able to be successful. Yeah.
Okay, but you are doing a lot of STEM subjects. So the fact that most of them are sometimes lab based, how did that go?
Yes. Oh yes, definitely the labs were something else. We had to shift from doing the labs physically, as in writing them in our lab books, to actually typing them up online as well. But my school is very resourceful, and they provided us with the means to do so. And they also allowed us to type up the labs and print them. And we would have days where we would come in and we would get the time to like paste the printed labs in our lab books and stuff. Socially distanced, of course. But yeah.
Okay. So you've always been a student. You went to Dunrobin Primary, and you were the top performer in the GSAT exams.
Yes, I was.
So what motivates you?
What motivates me? I think I'm a very intrinsically motivated person. Like, I would see myself yesterday and say, how can I improve on this for tomorrow? You know, just things like that, as well as I really do strive to make my parents proud, because they do work hard for me and they go over and beyond for not just me and my sisters as well. And they make a lot of sacrifices for me. And I believe it's only right that I make do with the sacrifices that they make for me. So that's a big motivator for me as well.
And you mentioned your parents. You're from humble beginnings. So tell us about your home life, and you're from Corville.
Yes, I am.
You live in Corville, right? So tell us about home life and about your parents.
Okay, so my mom is a teacher currently. She teaches at the Alpha. For anyone who goes to Alpha, they know that.
Yes.
And my father is a sales manager at CSEC Limited, and they do provide well for my sisters and I. I mean, we don't really grow up thinking that, you know, we're underprivileged or disadvantaged in any way. My parents do provide what they need for me, and I mean, I have a roof over my head. I can sleep on a bed. I eat something every night. I mean, my parents even will sacrifice their lunch money for my sisters and I to go to school as well. So I would say I've had a very good upbringing. Yeah.
So what was their reaction?
Well, my dad was very excited. I had messaged him because he wasn't at home at the time. So I messaged him and he sent a voice note like, whoa, whoa. like he couldn't believe. And my mother as well was very excited. And then they started calling up different family members, and everyone just got so excited.
Mhm.
Mhm.
All right. So, which teachers and mentors you think stand out as being very influential along the way?
Okay, so at school, I would definitely say Mrs. Thomas. She was my homeroom teacher from grade 7 all the way up to, I think, grade 10. I remember she left for 1 year, but she came back. But she was basically like a school mom for me, because she basically saw how I grew over the years, and she would help me every step of the way in my high school life so that I could be where I am today and achieve what I can achieve. And I would also like to think another teacher, I would say Miss Lambert. I met her recently, but she has been very supportive of me. I mean, when things get stressful and overwhelming, I could always go to her and talk with her, and it would just be refreshing and be a motivator for me as well. And I also think that the TAs I met through Spice and the mentors met through Spice as well, they were also very supportive of me, so always motivating me and encouraging me to go beyond my limits. And as I said, it takes a village. So I've had a lot of support around me, and I'm very grateful.
Mhm. So, what do you think are some of the factors, Zaria, that has led to your academic success?
Well, firstly, as I said, the support from all my teachers and my friends and my family as well, and my church family, and from everyone that has been praying for me, whether silently or whether they come up to me and give me words of encouragement. Definitely, support has been one of the major factors, as well as I said, making my parents proud and making my sisters proud and making everyone around me proud as well has been a great motivator for me to do well in school, as well as knowing that there are other persons looking on. There are other persons looking on. I would want to set a good example for them, and also to let them know that they can do it too. I mean, I can do it, so why can't you do it? So, those are a few factors.
Mhm. Or what is the advice that you want to leave for our young people, especially those who are, from humble beginnings, who feel like, boy, some things seem unattainable?
Yes.
Yeah, what do you have to say to them?
Firstly, I would have to say what is for you will always be for you, and no one can take that from you. So if you have any desire, whatever desire you have on your heart, I would say pray about it. Want to sing God's will, He will make it work, and you can go after it. I mean, even with my whole college journey, I needed help in order to apply to these colleges, sorry. And with that, I applied for a fellowship program at College Co. And it was through that program I was able to get college prep for free because my parents could not afford it.
Okay.
Yes, and I had a lot of support with my essays and stuff, as well as College Co also had sponsors to help me throughout the application process because there was a lot of stuff to pay for. So as I said, once you have that desire in your heart, it's gonna work out for you. So just go after it. As well as don't compare yourself to other situations. I know, especially if you come from a humble background, you may see others living a life that may not be cut out for you, and you might think that I can't come to anything because I don't have it. But trust me, you have all you need. It may not seem that way, but you do. You just need to believe in yourself. As I said, do not compare yourself. They say comparison is a thief of joy. It really is.
Yes.
Everyone's journey is different. Everyone's path is different. Everyone's purpose is different. But there is a purpose inside of you, and trust me, you can achieve it. So that's my advice.
Okay, you mentioned this free program, Zaria. A lot of our students, probably they don't know about these things,
Yeah.
So how can they learn about these kind of programs that are there to help them, especially if they're, from a poor background?
I would definitely say it's something that you have to look out for and do a lot of research in. So if you want to apply to colleges abroad, you can start looking on Google, you can look on the internet. There are also lots of social media websites where you can find places in Jamaica that can help you with college prep. I know some high schools that even have persons who do college prep come in to speak to the students, because my high school does that, but I'm not sure how many others do that. But as I said, you can go out there and find information. I found the college co on Instagram actually, and then I went to one of their open houses, and then from there I applied for the fellowship program, and the rest is history.
So Zara, it was great talking to you, and
Thank you
I want to wish you all the best at Harvard. And I hope that you'll be inventing. At least I'm looking forward to what you'll be inventing. I'm sure it will be something that will change our lives or improve our lives. And all the best.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.